Hello and welcome to Pushing Back, Ukraine Daily Brief. As the war enters its 776th day, these are the main developments from the past 24 hours. Russia has lost approximately 450,080 troops in Ukraine since the beginning of the war, the General Staff of Ukraine's armed forces reported. The number, which has not been independently verified, includes 830 casualties over the past day. According to the released Ukrainian figures, Russia lost 22 tanks, 47 armored combat vehicles, 18 artillery systems, 1 multiple launch rocket systems, 2 cruise missile, 67 drones, 67 vehicles and 8 pieces of special equipment. 9,000 Russian drones have been destroyed since the beginning of the full-scale invasion. Every night, Russia launches its drones targeting civilian infrastructure throughout Ukraine. The update from the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine. There were 66 combat engagements. The enemy launched a total of 7 missiles and 73 airstrikes, carried out 81 multiple launch rocket system attacks on positions of Ukrainian troops and various settlements. The Ukrainian Air Force launched airstrikes on 2 anti-aircraft missile systems and 15 concentrations of troops, weapons and military equipment of the occupiers. The Ukrainian missile forces hit 3 air defense systems and 1 concentration of troops of the Russian invaders. In its latest intelligence update, the UK's Ministry of Defence reports Russia is continuing its regular spring conscription this year, aiming to draft 150,000 18 to 30-year-olds for 1 year of mandatory service. These conscripts will serve in various parts of Russia but will not be directly involved in the Ukraine conflict. Russia is focused on recruiting contract soldiers to sustain its forces in Ukraine and for its planned military expansion. In its latest intelligence update, the Institute for the Study of War. Russian state media highlighted Russia and China's joint effort to combat perceived Western, dual containment, targeting Russia and China during Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov's meetings with Chinese President Xi Jinping and Foreign Minister Wang Yi in Beijing on April 9. U.S. Central Command announced on April 9 that it transferred roughly a brigade's worth of small arms and ammunition seized from Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps to Ukraine on April 4. The Ukrainian main military intelligence directorate is likely responsible for a drone strike against the Borysoglebsk airbase in Voronezh Oblast overnight on April 8 to 9. Russian ultranationalist mill bloggers continue to employ virulently anti-migrant rhetoric and calls for xenophobic domestic policies, but in doing so are exposing the inherent hypocrisy in Russia's treatment of its own indigenous ethnic minority communities. The Kremlin will likely be able to leverage a new agreement signed by the Kremlin-affiliated governor of the pro-Russian Moldovan Autonomous Region of Gagauzia, Yevgeny Gutzel, and a state-owned Russian bank to further its efforts to destabilize Moldovan society, attack Moldova's democratic government and prevent Moldova's accession to the European Union. Russia is reportedly considering creating a new ministry for youth policy and patriotic education, likely as part of an ongoing attempt to instill pro-Kremlin and Kremlin-approved ideology in Russia's next generation. Russian military authorities in Armenia detained another Russian citizen in Armenia, likely in an effort to assert military and political power over Armenia and to challenge Armenia's sovereignty amid a continued deterioration of Armenian-Russian relations. Kremlin officials continue efforts to ease public fears about another possible wave of partial mobilization. The Russian occupation regime in Crimea is systematically persecuting clergy and parishes affiliated with the Orthodox Church of Ukraine in occupied Crimea. Russian forces recently made confirmed advances near Kreminna, west of Avdiivka, and south and southwest of Donetsk city. In Zelensky's nightly video update, he covered several significant points. Firstly, he was in Kharkiv discussing the government funding to address energy challenges caused by the war. Secondly, he emphasized the importance of defending Ukrainian cities and awarded medals to those helping. Lastly, he urged international partners to trust Ukraine's ability to rebuild in various regions. Thanks for following today's updates. Please don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. We'll return tomorrow with the latest news on the ongoing conflict.